My name is Mohammad Nadeem. I'm a master student in Seoul. Our basic project is to work energy dataset.
My name is Ghulam Mustafa. I am doing masters in South Korea. Basically, my interest is machine learning models to deploy in data science projects.
Hi, my name is Munib Ahmed Khan. I am a PhD student in South Korea. For the past 2 years, my current majors are the computer vision and the web development tools. So many tools and so many backend APIs that you have to get a command on. Like for the sake of example, you have to get a command on the secure, for the secure like SSH. Then we're talking about cloud services, the cloud management services and that sort of a thing. You have like so many tools that you have to get a good grip knowledge on to provide us such a platform. So that is, I think, is one of the most hardest thing. Copy would be helpful in that sense, like it has a very simplistic nature to implement and to use that backend API. And that is making my overall process most time saving.
When I was student, for web development, so we have to send the data to some databases like local database or some servers. For me, like at that time, I was using Apache server. So it was very hard for me to install that plugin because I was getting a lot of error because of some operating system issues or some. But if we saw Scapy, it's very comfortable because you don't need to install any extra plugin. Just import some APIs and send your data to the database or some servers. So I think it's perfect for the students who want to learn web development and want to send his data to the server.
Basically, there are many difficult parts when we are starting career in the web development. When I start the career in web development, I have faced many difficulties like to install plugins and to install the cookies and related many things to connect the database with our projects and with our websites.
Yeah, actually, if we talk about Scapy in web development, actually we need to code less. As we think, if we are interacting with API services, we just need to implement those API because as a web developer, so you have to write a lot of code to interact with servers, to interact with databases. So with Scapy, everything is built in. Don't need to write code to interact with web servers. So just import the APIs and then interact with servers. So it's very efficient as compared to other services if you are interacting with some kind of webs if you are a web developer.
The most appealing feature of for me is the Scapy is that less code, same features, which in comparison with the other methods or other service providers, I think so Scapy has a very efficient manner. It did not require that sort of a wide range of tools you have to grip on to even implement it. And the overall process is quite easy to implement. So Scapy is very helpful in that sense too.
I would recommend those developers who are very beginner and they don't have enough knowledge about much things. For example, if you are web developer, web designer only, and you don't want to learn backend development for your web deployments, so you have to use Scapy for better understanding and better development purpose. I think that's perfect solution for those kind of developers.
Basically, I want to recommend this Scapy who want to work on freelancing to make websites for the clients. So it's not specifically domain I want to recommend. We can use this website for the school management service, in transportation data, in personal blogs, this type.
I think so Scapy is for everyone. Like you can't pinpoint or you can't narrow down that what sort of a person can use or what sort of a it can be used by the newbies or you can say the students who want to develop a full stack based system. in which they have to learn so many things in terms of security, SSH, and also the meaning of the database management and all sort of a thing. I think so in that sense, Scapy is very good thing, or you can say a very good platform for them. While if we talk about like those who are the code developers or who has years and years of a seasoned developers, due to its simplistic and very not so much intuitive, or you can say extensive coding, Scapy would also help them like making their time more efficient. So this thing, this dual nature of blend, or you can say infusion of these two things, I think this Scapy is for everyone whoever wants to make the web development. For learning, it's quite easy. For professional web development, it's also quite easy. So you can say I would recommend it for everyone.
I think in terms of coding, it's much better, because if you're a beginner coder and you want to learn web development as a whole package, so you have to learn a lot of things. So you have to learn, first of all, you have to learn web designing, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. Then you have to move to the backend services and then database services. So there are a lot of things you will like. Somehow you will feel like, oh, it's very hard to
good old memories when we have to learn like it was like such a headache and such a one can say like, okay, let's forget it. That's not my thing. So in that sense,
it's not for me. So in terms of Scapy, it's much better. So with less code, we have to do much stuff, everything, data uploading, getting data from server. So that's I want, like as a beginner developer. So I think it's much better for a beginner developer, and they can learn many things. They can do many stuff for their clients, for themselves, as searching, as if they want to
implement
try,
that.
If they want to try something. So that's good thing, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Mustafa?
Most of the students want to make websites, but they don't have the background from the computer science or programming. But in my view, if they don't have knowledge about the programming, they can also implement the websites.
Yeah,
because for local businesses, for the restaurants, for the companies, local companies, I think this is good.
Not
like traditional.
Yeah, I think so. And you can also make it like not for just local companies. If you want to make it for a traditional multinational company, using Scapy, that would also be much better. Yes. I think so.
Due to a security purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's good. Thank you.